Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering an old yet very popular series that I started on the channel about a year ago. It's from the book Star Wars: The Secrets of the Jedi by Insight Editions. Now I call it Luke's point of view because everything in the book is a canon point of view of all of these characters, force powers, and places that is listed and explained. It's a really interesting take on a book because it actually gives you his point of view on all of these things, whereas a book would just typically explain things from a third-person point of view, whereas this one is directly from Luke's. Today we're going to be covering his point of view on Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus. Where did Luke get all this information? Well, that can be theorized in another video, but for myself, I like to believe that he got all of this stuff from the Jedi texts. As we know, he did scour the galaxy between episode 6 and 7 looking for different holocrons and ancient scrolls, so the things he has found and learned about is endless. Here are his thoughts on Count Dooku. Count Dooku was a former Jedi Master and a respected statesman in the Galactic Republic. He also became Darth Sidious's second apprentice after Darth Maul's presumed demise. A former Padawan of Master Yoda himself, Dooku had grown frustrated with the corruption he saw spreading through the galaxy's highest powers. He took matters into his own hands, renouncing the Jedi Order and turning against the Republic. As Darth Tyrannus, he was instrumental in pulling the political strings that eventually led to the Clone Wars. Tyrannus was executed in cold blood by my father, who would soon take Tyrannus' place as Darth Sidious's final apprentice. Now, what I like about this is that, first of all, of course, he acknowledges that his father was the one that killed Dooku. So he knows plain and simple what happened there. How he knows, well, I can theorize, but I really would like for them to go into detail on that someday. What I also like is that there was tons of frustration with how Dooku felt regarding the corruption that he saw spreading through the galaxy's highest powers. Meaning, the Jedi were very dogmatic in their views, and they kind of renounced the Force and sort of just followed the Republic, and believed themselves to be peacekeepers, but really they were just war heroes. Or as Luke would say, great warriors, which Yoda would in turn reply, war does not make one great. Now, Dooku's a really interesting character, because he's not your typical Sith Lord that's super hungry for the power of the dark side. In fact, he was only really given a crash course by Sidious. If you've seen some of the videos where I've covered the book Labyrinth of Evil, you'd know this. Dooku wasn't given all the training that Maul got, or even Anakin, or should I say Vader. He was really just given a quick crash course on how to become a Sith Lord, and use the dark side powers, which he already was so in tune with when he entered, should we say, Sithhood. Now, Dooku was a very highly respected Jedi Master, and he was one of the best swordsmen in the entire galaxy. So he was a great loss to the Council and a great asset to Sidious. That, combined with his high force powers, he was a very dangerous being. Not to mention, he was also the master to my favorite Jedi, Qui Gon Jinn. And it's to no surprise that Qui Gon somewhat followed in a similar footstep as Count Dooku. Qui Gon was a master, but he didn't have a seat on the Council because he was so rebellious against their wishes. He often strayed away from what they told him to do and just followed his instincts and really listened to the Force, which is what a true Jedi Master was before the Jedi took it and changed things and corrupted things. If it wasn't for Qui Gon, Anakin would not be around. And there was also another video that I made where I explained Anakin actually theorizes for himself what his life would have been like if he wasn't a Jedi, if Qui-Gon had never found him. He basically said to himself he would just become a master pilot and become really famous through that. But he'd never know the Force, and he'd never know a lightsaber, and he'd never know the life that he has today, at least during the Clone Wars when he was explaining it. I wonder if Dooku and Luke would have gotten along. Makes you wonder. I hope one day we'll get to know just exactly how Luke found all this information and his deeper thoughts on all of these different people throughout the galaxy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more from Luke's point of view, or should I say, The Secrets of the Jedi book by Insight Editions. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.